today for the podcast, we have an amazing guest who had more than 800 roadshows, which is 2 roadshows per day in the time of 2 years. Her name is Kainat Khan, and she will also explain today what is the roadshows, how to do it correctly, and what is the key of success for it. So Kainat, it's very nice to see you here, and it's so great that you will share your valuable experience with our agents as well and agency owners, because I believe that roadshows is one of the topics that everyone is so much interested. So please share your experience so everyone know what you've been doing and from where you have this experience.
Okay, thank you so much for the lovely introduction. So I was working with the developer for over 2.5 years, and where I was taking care of the roadshows department, basically. So in my time there, we did over 800 events, you can say, almost. So when I say 800 events, it doesn't mean exactly 800 big, scale events. It means like that includes international events. It includes local open houses. It includes direct events with the direct developer team. It includes agent, developer partner events, and it includes sales trips as well. So when you combine all of those together, it's approximately, you can say, 800 events that we have done.
But it's so much still.
It's a lot, yes.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, definitely. And it has been also very successful. We were above target, the target that was given to us by management. We were above target for the last 2 years as well. And the demand was very, very good. So I initially joined the developer at the end of 2021. So we were just coming out of the COVID situation.
Nice, yeah.
Yes. And despite the COVID situation, again, in the beginning of 2022 started out, we saw a huge rise in it. And surprisingly, the summertime was our best time and our busiest time for roadshows internationally.
Okay, so the summertime is the best and the most active.
Yes, but depending on the location. Where you are planning on going. For example, we were doing a lot of events in the summertime in the UK, in the US, and some parts of Europe. So those were definitely successful. But if you're planning on doing it in other locations, maybe it might not be a good idea, because I want to really say that you need to identify who you're targeting. Based on that target market, your event can be successful in that particular location.
Okay, let's take it step by step, because I also had a practice when the agencies are coming to me, since I was also working for a developer, and they were saying, Karina, I want a roadshow, but don't really understand what does it mean, what kind of preparation have to be done, what kind of marketing, etc., etc. So there's so many things involved to make a successful roadshow. So let's take it step by step. Could you please share what is roadshow international? Roadshow, what are the steps, and what are the first steps for the making roadshow? So
the first step is definitely for the agent to identify how they want to do the event. Like now, when I say that, what that means is that do they want to go on their own as an agency doing an event with multiple developers, for example, or they want to go with a specific developer and get a sponsored event. If you pick the latter, which you want to go with the sponsored event with a developer, you need to understand and identify, first of all, where you want to go. And now, in my scenario, in my experience, I have seen agents who have maybe just joined the developer maybe a month or 2 months ago, have maybe 0 sales with them, or even maybe 1 sale with them, and then they come and demand, or they say that, oh, I want to go for a roadshow to the US. That's not going to happen. I can tell you that right now. And the reason why is because, see, when you work with a developer, you need to be able to establish yourself as a working broker, as a successful broker, in order for them to give you that sponsored event. Because most likely the chances are that the developer already has a bunch of agents that are doing events on a rotation, and they're doing events successfully on a rotation. So there's no need for the developer to disrupt the business that's coming in by giving another or a rookie a chance to go to that place. So you need to make yourself unique or bring something new to the table for the developer to be like, you know what? Okay, this person is worth a shot. Let me try it. So in order for that to happen, the broker needs to first identify where they want to go and why they want to go there. It cannot be because they saw one of the top 3 agents going to this specific city or this specific territory, and they're like, oh, if they can get a business of 10 million, I want to go there too. No, but like what goes behind it? Maybe they're an established broker or an established agent already in that territory. Maybe they have an office there. Maybe they already have existing clients, a referral system, or a sub-broker network that's helping them out. For you, you're a newbie, you're going to be going there. It's not the same scenario at all. So you need to first identify where you want to go. That's number 1. Number 2,
so the first is to identify where and why you want to go.
Yes.
And the important thing is that you have a connection on that market, which means either you have sub-brokers or you have the marketing campaign you mentioned, right?
Or existing clients.
Or existing clients.
And the second thing I was going to say is that when you want to go with a developer, for example, and you say, let's take China as an example, right? You want to go for an event to China. Okay. Have you had any sales with Chinese clients with that developer? If yes, then okay, you have a chance of pleading your case with the developer and saying, yes, look, I just joined your developer. I signed on 2 months ago. In 2 months, I have 7 million worth of business I have done with the Chinese clients. So it makes sense that I want to go to China. In that case scenario, we can speak to the developer. Also, I have to mention that there are multiple ways that you can do the event, which I will get into a little later down the road. And so then that way we can work something else. But if you're saying, yes, I want to go to China with 0 clients or 0 sales from either Chinese clients or clients from China, like a developer is not going to say yes for that. So you need to really understand, like, okay, why you want to go there, and do you have what do you call this? What's the word? Like some sort of reason to go there, which is do you have existing clients? Because most likely what happens internationally is that they're not too aware of the market. So if someone's going to buy something, they will refer their friends or their family for it. So you build that way a referral system for you wanting to go back to it. But if you don't have that and you don't have a sub-broker network who is referring clients to you, or you don't have a very, very good marketing campaign in place, it's not going to work out, like realistically. True. Because as I said, I've done over 800 events, and in those 800 events, yes, we have had failures as well. It's not like all 800 of those were amazing events. No.
There is a hype happening on the market. Let's say it was Russia's and China's, and the different markets are popping up. US as well. But here's the important things that you're saying, is that you really have to prepare for it, because you cannot just go and expect that because the hype market exists, then there will be a huge volumes of sales. And
the other thing that a lot of agents or brokers don't realize is that the amount of competition that is there. For example, let's take the UK as an example, because that was one of my top performing territories that we were doing. And what I noticed, London specifically, right? Every weekend, there were 3 or 4 events happening with Dubai-based developers. So what makes you unique? Why is a client going to come to your event and not go to that developer's event or that agent's event? So that's something that I think a lot of agents don't realize, that they might think, oh, I found a new market, or this market is making bringing in so much money, I want to go there. Okay, but do you realize the competition is, and to the point as well, I can even give examples where I've had an event in a hotel. In the same hotel, like opposite rooms, there's 2 events happening, like from Dubai-based developers. Like let's take, I will not name them, but top Dubai-based like competitors having event. So a client is going to go where?
Yes.
You need to identify and do all of this research before you go somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. So let's dive into the marketing, because marketing is the major role for the successful roadshow. Yeah. Could you please explain what kind of marketing campaigns are successful in order to have a to have a successful roadshow?
Okay. So when it comes to the marketing, right? As I said, when you do your research, you need to identify. The same thing goes with marketing. For example, let's take a city like or country like Germany as an example, that you're planning to do an event in Germany. Okay, fine. That's cool. Okay, so who are you identifying in Germany? Who is going to be your target audience? Is it all of Germany? It doesn't work like that. You need to identify. Now, there's a huge community of like the Arab community in Germany. If that is your target audience, okay, so when you identify that's your target audience, maybe it's a very good idea to do your marketing in 2 different languages. You can do it in Arabic, and you could do it in English or in German, and see the kind of traction that you get from that, and then take it from there.
Even though you're doing it in Germany. But because you're targeting the Arab speaking in Germany, that's your target and that's the language you choose.
And another thing that you can do is if you're going to this territory for the first time, for example, right, and you're not too sure about it yet, or what the kind of results that's going to come from it, you can always run a test campaign. When you run a test campaign, it will give you all the analysis that you will get. Who were the people who were seeing it? These are the people that we should identify or target. And that way you can understand and take it from there who your target audience is going to be. So these are things that a lot of the time, in my experience with the agents that I have worked with, don't even look into. They're just looking to, oh, ABC went to this country or this city, so I want to go here too. Okay, but ABC did their homework. Like, that's why they went to this place and they generated that kind of results. For example, if you ran a test campaign and from that test campaign, you got maybe 200 or 300 confirmations or like that kind of interaction or that kind of interest was generated from that campaign, yes, you should go there. So that's definitely there as well.
And what kind of time period have to be done before the roadshow, the marketing campaign?
So once your event, if you're going with a developer, for example, once your event has been approved, it's very, very good to start your campaigns, I would say 3 weeks in advance. Yeah, 3 weeks in advance, not before that, because then it's too long and people are going to forget.
Okay, so 3 weeks.
Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks, you can say, before the event date is. And from there you start on. And then there's steps to that as well. So a lot of the time agents just think that you put on a campaign and people will register. Okay, cool, let's see the event. No, that's not how it is. So when you do, you start your campaign, you get interest and you get registrations and you get confirmations. What is the next step? The next step is for your telecalling team that you have is to call them, schedule a meeting with them, and then schedule a Zoom call with them to be able to qualify the client. Because what a lot of agents don't realize is that the only way your event is going to be a success is you already have pre-approved buyers, like interested buyers who are ready to pay. That is the whole goal of the roadshow. It's for them to come, bring their cash and bring their money. You know what? You told me everything about the project that I needed to know. I just wanted to see you in person and to make sure that, yes, you are a real company. And now I'm ready to put in my deposit amount. Like, that is when your event is a success, when you have like buyers from like ready buyers already who are just ready to buy on the spot. So how can you do that? You can do that by first registering them, first of all. Second of all, having your telecalling team call and confirm their confirmation. Third, you schedule a Zoom call with them to understand what their needs are, have your salesperson discuss everything with them. And then 2 or 3 days before the event, you schedule another Zoom call with them just to make sure the client is good and they're going to be coming to the event. And then you take it from there. So these are the steps that are in place. Like, that's where, yes, the person who is going for the event is very, very important. The agent who's going for the event, that's very, very important for them to have that kind of knowledge. But equally important is your telecalling team, your marketing team, and your other sales managers or your agents who are going to be doing the Zoom calls.
I think everyone has to note it down, because this is one of the secrets of the successful roadshows. Because I know personally many agencies who are thinking that I will go to that country, I will create this event, and then I will close it on spot just because the sales process went well. But in reality, as you explained, the reason is that you close the client before the roadshow. And in roadshows, they see you as a live person, they trust you more, and then they bring the check.
And a lot of people, what they don't realize, like you said, they come with the mindset, we'll go and we'll close on the spot. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. It does happen, but it's not that common.
And it's very hard to predict, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very hard to predict the kind of people you're going to get. So I've had cases and scenarios where the kind of clients who've come to the event are people who've come with their CVs. People who've come asking for a job. We want a job at this developer, or just something, or they're selling something. So that's a waste of time for your team and for the developer as well. And it's a waste of money, because a lot of money goes into this. Even if a developer is going to sponsor your event, that's maybe 30% of the cost. The rest of the cost is still going to be managed by your team. And it's really expensive. So in order to make sure that your money is well spent and well utilized, it's so important to make sure that all the right steps are followed. Yeah.
How do you see the itself really platform into the roadshows? So how do you see we can use it as an agent?
Honestly, I feel like the Really platform is so good, especially when it comes to international events. like I think it's such a good and useful tool for agents. So how we can use it? For example, you are at an event in the US as an example, and sometimes these events can get really, really busy. You have over 100, 200 people coming in a day's time. So it gets really, really busy. And then you're dealing with clients, and you have a client who's a qualified client, wants to buy, has a good portfolio. And maybe they don't like any of the projects of the developer that you went with. Now you have a client ready to buy. You're not going to want to lose the client, and you are trying to understand what I can pitch to them. So what you can do, you open the platform in front of them, you put in their requirements in the filter and filter it out. Within 2 minutes, you're able to show them the multiple projects that they can look and invest into, or could be the project that they want to buy. And if they say yes to that, you're able to generate a sales offer on the spot that's branded by your agency. There you have the client, the sales offer, client closed.
Okay.
So that's the best way, I think, that you can do it. The other way it's also good is it will establish trust between the client and yourself as well, because you can show them that this is a third-party platform, not from the developer side. This is not from our side. This is a third-party platform. You can search on your own as well if you want and see that these are the projects that's out there. Another way to do it is that if you want to have a sense of urgency to, close the client, you're feeling like, yes, this client is interested, but we need to close faster. And they're like, oh, we'll think about it tonight. So you can show them maybe the project that they picked is a very high demand project, and there's a limited number of units. You can open our interactive map. You can go click on it, and you can click the project, and you can say, you can see over there, it says fast selling or high in demand. And you can show it to them. And then again, you can show them this is a third party platform. It's not from the broker. It's not from the developer. This is what it's showing right now. So I think it's really good. If you want to invest, do it right now. You buy it right now. Yeah. So these ways, I think the platform can really help you. That's one case scenario. The second case scenario, this is for the agents, how the platform can help as well, is that when you do international events, as I mentioned, it's really important to have a sub-broker network. So how that works, a lot of the times, before the event, there are clients who want to buy or close the deal. And they're not able to attend the event for whatever reason. Now, let's say your stockbroker network has a client who is ready to buy, but they want more information on the project. Now, before an event, agents are really busy. With the amount of launches, amount of clients you have to deal, you're not able to answer back and forth to every single detail. Now, you don't want to lose that client, and you have your sub-broker network over there as well. So what you can do is that you can use our referral link and send that to your sub-broker network or your partner agent, let's say. They can register on our platform using that link that's been sent to them. And they can then send them all the projects, and they can generate sales offers as well using the Really platform. Now, how this can, the question you'll ask is that, but then why would the partner want to work with me if they have access to this? So with the referral link, what happens is that any project that they will click on, it will only show the details of your agent. So it will not show you any details of any developer contact, any details of any other agents on that platform except for yourself. And so that way your partner lead is secure. Yeah. So it's also it's helpful to you. It saves your time. It's efficient, and it gets the work done.
True. Yeah. True. And also in a very close future, we are going to add as well international agencies in our marketplace where, for example, you're targeting Germany. Right? And you're looking for the sub-brokers. But every market is not transparent. So therefore, we will make it transparent. We will list all the agencies that are on that country, and you can see the ratings on the closure rates or the rating itself on the agency, understand who can be your sub-broker partner and get connected as well. I think that's very good because with when I was working with a developer, we worked very closely with the international business development team as well. So within those 800 events that I'm talking about, they're not Dubai-based brokers only. There's international brokers that I have worked with as well. And a lot of the times, the issues that come across is that they are maybe not too, don't have much training on Dubai. They don't know much about it. And for them, it's like a commitment that they have to make. So how the platform can help them is that they can obviously have a look into the market that you talked about. Second, they can also look into the university that we have. They can look into the workshops that are done, the podcasts that are there, and actually see how high in demand everything is. They can learn more about it, and they will give them an incentive to be like, okay, you know what, this is a serious business. And I said as well, the biggest issue is the trust factor.
a lot of the times it's always about like, if I work with this developer or this broker, will I get my commission in time? So it's really, really good to definitely use the platform. It's really, really helpful.
True.
Yeah.
True. International expansion is the key of success. And as well as the developers, I know that are trying to do it by themselves, to go to international markets, trying to approach different agencies internationally. But as far as I know, it's not really successful.
No.
Yeah.
Not-
Therefore,
yeah.
Therefore, you have to have some third party who will take this responsibility on them
Yes.
to verify both sides.
Yes, because it's
Otherwise-
always about the trust factor, and it's always about like, will I get my commission? How can I trust this agency? You could say you're number one, but do I know you're number one? So that way, like our platform can definitely help establish that trust, and you're able to see on the market itself as well, like what the agency looks like, how many team members they have, what their office looks like, how many awards they have won, things like that. That will just make you more like make your partner more validated in their eyes. Be like, okay, you know, this is a legit agency, and I'm not wasting my time here.
Okay, and if we go into legal part of the roadshows, so what you have to do as a homework before you go to any country?
Right. So this is very interesting because we've had a lot of cases like this happen. So what happens is that, see, not every country is very open with developers or like agents coming and promoting and encouraging their citizens to invest outside of the country. So for that, you need to first of all make sure, can you even do a property event in that country? And if you cannot, this is a real case scenario, you will get arrested. Like that will happen. They will come to your event. They will come and they will shut it down, and they will arrest you with the developer and your agents. So yeah, so you need to really, really do your homework and make sure that, you know, that this doesn't happen. And number two, some countries, yes, they allow it, but it's really important to make sure that you have a permit. So you need to make sure you apply for that permit, how that permit is done. You need to do your research. And it's always, I know it can be a little taxing for some people to do this, but it's always very good when you're going to a new location. Just call the embassy or just do your research. It takes 10 minutes. It will save you a ton of money and a ton of trouble.
True.
So it's really important to do that kind of homework. I cannot express how important that is, because later down the road, what happens is that if a scenario like what I mentioned, that if you can get arrested and there could be a court case or scenarios like this, it's just a big hassle for the agent. It's a big hassle for the developer. And it also ruins the reputation of your agency and the developer as well. Most likely that developer will either ban you or will not work with you again. And you're going to have a tarnished reputation within the market. So why would you want to take that risk?
Yeah, true. And who is the responsible for making sure that the roadshow is allowed in that country? Is it the developer or it's an agency?
So technically it should be both. However, what can happen is that sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of the times, is agents will come and say, I know the prime minister and I know the president and I know this minister and that minister. It's not going to be a problem for us. It's going to be one phone call away or something like that. And then they're assuring, or they maybe have that kind of business to show that, yes, they have had maybe 20, 30 million dirhams worth of sales from this specific territory. Then the developer could be like, okay, if this person has had that many sales from there, maybe they have some sort of knack or some sort of way to do it. But in reality, it's both from both ends. Like both ends should do their research. So countries like, for example, Nepal or Pakistan, you cannot do full-fledged open with big invitation events over there, because it's technically kind of illegal to do that. But countries like Singapore, you can do an event without an issue, but you need a permit. And that permit is super easy to get. It's very, very easy to get. It's not an issue, but a lot of people don't know that. So that's really important to do your research in that way. Yeah.
Okay. So do you have any cases in your practice? 800 roadshows. I believe there's so many stories to tell of different situations. Could you share something?
Yes. So there was one event that we did. It was at the beginning of last year, and it was in Nepal. And the same thing, we had an event over there. Usually our events are 2 days. They're always on the weekend. They're always on Saturday or Sunday, or depending on the country, sometimes it'll be Friday or Saturday. So most of the time it's on a Saturday and Sunday. And it was a very busy event, a lot of traction. And then on a Sunday evening, I get a very nice phone call. Like, do you know what's happening at the event? I was like, yeah, I just spoke to them an hour ago. Everything's good. They're like, no, they got arrested. I'm like, what? What happened? And they're just like, they got arrested. We didn't know anything. We didn't have any clarity on what was happening. There was not much we can do in that situation to control it as well. And then later we found out the reason is that because you're not allowed to do an event there like this.
Okay.
A lot of the time what people will do, for example, they can do private events, but that means like there's no advertising. It's a very, very private event in someone's home or something like that, or someone's office or your sub-broker network's office, and there's no advertising, and you're inviting only referral or like, qualified clients. But if you're doing a full-fledged big event in a hotel for 100 people and advertising it left and right in a place where it's illegal, that's what's going to end up happening.
True.
So
that is the reason why we have to bring up the real case, because I know personally so many agents or agency owners who are like, it's okay, it will be fine. Like, and nobody believes that really it can cause a lot of problems.
It can, and you know what? You might think that you could be going with the biggest and the best developer in the country, and they'll help you out. But the chances are, when you deal with international governments, it doesn't work that way. There are rules that you need to follow, and you need to make sure like your staff and your team is safe, because chances are the owner of the brokerage is not going to go. It's going to be someone, an agent, and it's not right to put your agents in a situation that can be really, really harmful for them, and like is worrisome for their family, and it's not good for them either. So you need to really, do your research and make sure a scenario like that doesn't happen.
And also you invest your money, right, into
exactly.
the
Why would you want to take that kind of risk? And guess what? You spent maybe 100K on that event, as an example. You're going to end up paying 200K to get out of there now.
Yeah.
So it's just, it backfires that way. So you just need to make sure that all your research is done properly.
Make the roadshow successful.
Out of which you maybe...
Per which periods?
Per day.
Per day?
Per day, yes.
16 requests.
Yes, for an event.
For example, we have a different audience.
A lot of the times you get the scenario, for example, if they're coming and asking for 100% approved event, right?
So much information about the roadshows, so much valuable information. I am sure that our audience who will watch this podcast will enjoy it.